So today I am going to be talking about Question 7 by Richard Flanagan. Now, Question 7 is a little bit of a weird one because it almost sort of defies clarification. It's blending elements of memoir, literary history, science, and also environmental discourse. It's a real multifaceted approach. So, where to begin with telling you what kind of's in this book? Well, we dive into H.G. Wells, his writings, but also his relationships, particularly his relationship with Rebecca West. And this in turn kind of provides insight into the sort of literary circles of that time. Flanagan also examines the sort of creation of the atomic bomb, really kind of heavily examining the sort of ethical and moral dilemmas of nuclear advancement at that time. And a significant amount of time is spent in kind of memoir form as Flanagan sort of recounts his mum, his dad. We spend a lot of time with his dad. His dad was in Japanese war camps. And we spend a lot of time with them and his family and growing up. And we also spend a section where he reflects on a near fatal kayaking accident. It's it's an eclectic book, and it does all jump around. However, right towards the end, we have this beautiful, and I mean it is a beautiful moment. And I don't think I have, well, it's very early in the year, but I don't think I'm going to quite have a moment like it, in which it all makes sense. It all sort of ties up and comes together in this really lovely, lovely way. Do you have to suspend your disbelief? Of course you do. But yeah, the madness of it all, the jumping around, the sort of like, what the hell is this book about? Yeah, it suddenly all becomes clear. And what does the title mean, Question 7? Well, Question 7 in the novel is presented to us as Chekhov's question, a very humorous question around mathematics, which really explores this sort of abstract but also quite complex way of looking at the world. And I think that pretty much sums up this book as well. It's, very complex, but at the same time, it's dealing with very abstract sort of themes and ideas all blended into one. And yeah, I think once you get into it, it's a pretty fitting title. So what did I like and what didn't I like? What I liked. First thing is I think Flanagan does an amazing job of sort of weaving all these sort of disparate themes and ideas and complexities and abstractions together. Even though it jumps around a lot and you're a bit like, where are we going next? At no point did it feel like it wasn't threaded together with intent. I never felt like it was just batshit crazy. It was just doing whatever the hell it wanted to. I felt within the writing and the way it was structured that I was in safe hands. And I was really happy to go on this sort of varied journey because, I felt like we were heading somewhere with a purpose. The next thing I like is I haven't, this could end up being probably one of the most unique books I read in 2025. If I had read this last year, it probably would have been one of the most unique novels or auto-fiction, memoir, hard to define books, let's just say, that I had read in 2024 when it was released. I just love how different it is. And if you are after something that is a little bit different and you don't mind the sort of the complexities of the different areas it's approaching, what it's looking into, I think you'll really enjoy it. I also really enjoyed the emotional depths that this novel goes to. There's moments where Flanagan is, and I don't know if it's fiction or real in this moment, but Flanagan is approaching characters who may or may not have been the prison guards while his dad was a prisoner of war. And his sort of interactions with them and his sort of the emotional sort of depths of what he's feeling, but what also they might be feeling. And then also like the emotional depths of his dad and his mum and just, it's sort of simple, sharp prose, but it really, really sort of paints quite a vivid picture. And I think he handles it beautifully. What didn't I like? Okay, there's only really one thing that I didn't quite like, but also to say I didn't like that thing does make me a bit of a hypocrite on some of the things that I said I enjoyed about this book. But because it jumps around a lot, because I don't know what's real or what's not, there's a lot of really, really interesting things in this book, really interesting things, and I don't know, there's just a part of me wondering if that's true or not. And I kept playing that game and that kept taking me out of it. I kept always being like, bloody hell, that's interesting. I wonder if that was true. I'm going to go away and research it, which is fine because it's forcing me to go away and do bits and bobs. But I don't know, there's like an authenticity there, his time at Oxford, different things that are mentioned. And if they're true, it's like, Jesus, that's the lecturers were like that? Oh my God. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's really, but yeah. But I don't know because of the way the book's written. I just don't know. So is it a negative? Actually, no, it's not really a negative. It's just a very, very slight sort of dislike. It's just there's a part of me that maybe, yeah, these sort of memoir-y aspects of it, yeah, I just don't know whether to believe them or not. And I felt like that took away from some of the authenticity of what's being talked about. But that's the game you play, isn't it? As an author, if you're going to create a book like this and you're going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at it and keep moving it around, then, yeah, one of the sort of byproducts of that, I suppose, is that, yeah, people will question its authenticity. But it doesn't really take away from kind of what I felt and the things that I learned. So to conclude, question 7 by Richard Flanagan is, it's 4 stars. It's excellent. It's providing a very rich tapestry of these sort of disparate yet interconnected themes and stories all the way through. I was fascinated all the way through. I thought the writing was precise but sharp. I thought it had real emotional heart. I really went on a journey. I learned a lot about him. I learned a lot about Australia. I learned a lot about the creation of the atom bomb. I learned a lot about war camps. I learned a lot about kayaking. I learned a lot about a lot of things throughout it, as well as never sort of losing a sort of like focus and heart and soul of the book. I think it's really good. So yeah, 4, fuck it, maybe even 4.5. I don't know, but probably 4 is where it's at. It's excellent. So, have you read question 7? And if so, what did you think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please let me know in the comments below. And as always, I hope you're well. I hope you're enjoying whatever you may be reading. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye.